5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
So, did everybody
we're done with
silence
that?
their
Okay.
phones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, let's silence our phones.
We don't want any interruptions on our
Interruptions.
first ever podcast
Yes.
Loud snackers.
episode.
Yes.
Exciting.
Well, welcome to Loud Snackers. This is where we snack. We're not gonna.
Loudly.
Yes, loudly. We're not gonna introduce the guest yet. Hopefully, this podcast will be snacks to everybody. I know I'm trying to talk over everybody, but here we go. All right. So, let's introduce our hosts. I am Kairos. We have Brandon.
Hello.
We got Eunice.
What's up?
Everyone, say what's up.
What's
Hi.
up?
I'm Brandon.
Hey, I'm Eunice.
Awesome. Eunice, would you like to introduce our
Yeah,
guest?
you guys. Please help me welcome the one and only Samuel Lee.
Samuel, yes.
Welcome.
He
I must say,
Welcome.
this is the first time I ever had this carto chip that's cream and cheese flavor.
Oh my God. Wait, who brought those?
I did.
Okay, so you guys.
Look at this chick. She looks happy as hell. Look at her.
Dude, how do you
Yeah.
know that's a chick?
Fluid. I'm sorry.
Let's show the camera. Maybe we could do a zoom.
They look so happy.
They.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you guys, okay, Loud Snackers, we make it a point to bring snacks to our episodes.
Yes. Yes.
So, only our guests can enjoy them. The rest of us won't be
Oh,
eating
really?
anything.
Oh.
No? Share the love.
I was like, wait, what?
Wait, I was
thought you were
eyeing
serious,
that
too.
the whole time.
I was like, wait,
Yeah.
I don't like this rule. I should change it right now.
Okay.
Void.
This is the first episode, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know about future episodes, but right now, what is it gonna be like? Are we just gonna ask each other questions randomly? Are we gonna give each other hypotheticals that are ridiculous?
I heard you're really good at hypotheticals.
Hypotheticals?
Yeah.
I can do that all day. I literally ask
love
myself
it.
in the mirror hypotheticals all day.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
Like, would you rather
Honestly, I think
pluck
it's
a
going to
nipple
be.
hair or just shave your legs? I just do both
I
You
think
can't choose both, though.
Yeah.
You have to do would
at
you
the same time. Yeah, I mean, let's do that.
All right, you guys, here we
Sounds
go.
good.
Sure.
Would you rather put these Jolly Bongs in your nose for the rest of the podcast
Uh-huh.
and you can't take them out? Or would you rather put those Ocarto things?
Your butt.
That's.
Yeah.
I felt like that was going to be.
I was so shocked that when I said I dropped my old card.
Wait, that was lame.
then,
Hold
like,
on.
for the entire podcast?
For the entire podcast.
Wait, for both?
This in my butt for the entire podcast?
That's for the entire evening.
podcast? Or this?
No.
Because if you think about it, either can dissolve.
I mean, okay. I guess I didn't think about that until
But
this
the cheese
moment.
remains.
The flavor lasts.
I mean, just for pure comfortability, I think I would go with the nose.
Okay,
Probably
so for
just-
selfish reasons.
I suppose.
Selfless reasons.
Yeah. Let's go a little more extreme though, because remember I shared with you guys this hypothetical that I heard from Sam. This very extreme one. I'm just gonna let Sam. It's about the light bulb one, and I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So this is very serious. It gets pretty intense.
Yeah,
so.
this goes all the way back to like when I was in college. I remember we were driving home from U of I back to Chicago, and it's like a 2.5 hour road trip, and there wasn't really much to do, and so we started giving each other hypotheticals as Midwesterners that are bored do sometimes.
Right.
And I said, this is all assuming that you have a light bulb in your butthole.
Oh my god.
Okay? This is all assuming. Okay,
Yes.
So, like that's not the. It's like in every scenario, the light bulb is there.
Okay.
Would you rather ride the tallest roller coaster? Okay. with the light bulb in there, assuming that if it gets too intense, your butt cheeks are just gonna slam together.
Oh my God.
There's gonna be a
out of
squeeze.
excitement.
There's gonna be
Yeah, you're like, oh, I gotta keep it spread.
A strong clench.
Yeah.
Yes, a clench.
Or would you rather go bungee jumping?
I would definitely do the bungee jumping. I like thrill
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
So like,
I actually
Okay.
never liked roller coasters, to be
Oh.
honest with you.
Roller coasters are heights.
Actually, I've been on top of the Empire State Building and I looked down and I was like, whoa. And I started doing body rolls. Like,
Yeah,
just like, whoa. They started
uncontrollably.
taking pictures of me and I was like,
so
Yeah.
you got,
And
so you
that's
get
where
vertigo.
TikTok.
yeah, that's where TikTok came from. I was like, you know what? You can post short videos of this online and see what happens.
Viral.
So you got vertigo from heights.
I wouldn't say it's vertigo. I was just kind of like, whoa. You know, it wasn't like a visual or like actual, like something impaired or anything. I was just like, whoa, that would be scary to fall down because
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
hurt. I don't even know if it would hurt.
I think it's that when you're up that high, it's you see something that you're not used to seeing, and then you're just surrounded by like this breadth of nowhere safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, have you done those things where you walk on glass on those really high?
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are pretty freaky.
Yeah.
I actually had an incident on the roller coaster where it locked up my hips because I didn't know this, but this roller coaster went backwards. Oh. So it did the forward thing, and then at some point it just stopped and decided to go the other way.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people knew about it except me, and
Oh, no.
because I expected it to go forward, my hips just locked up.
Like your joints?
Something happened where I pulled it, or
Oh my God.
and I was just in pain the whole time. But it went the other way, and I was screaming for other reasons, basically. Yeah, but
Because you were in pain.
it was painful.
God.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah. I'm so
But it was a wooden roller coaster. I don't know,
Like
if
Ghost
there's a-
Six
Rider.
Flags Great America?
Is it Ghost
Six
Rider?
Flags.
Not
But I think there is quite a bit of difference on a wooden coaster compared to like a metal one, right?
smooth. Like,
Well, at the very least, you could do flips on a metal one.
That's true.
I don't think wooden
Wood
ones
is a
have
lot
flips.
more like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it rattles more.
Yeah.
Like if you
But-
really want to take a risk, you ride a wooden one.
Yeah.
But yeah, but that was, I think the reason why I did pull something is because my lever or my belt was loose. So I think I was trying to hold on to it
and you went the wrong way.
wrong way, and then I went the wrong way. But I will say this though, I think one of the best roller coasters in the world was Tron, in
Oh.
Shanghai.
Disney, right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That was one of the best ones.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It went so fast. It goes so fast moving forward that it almost feels like you're free falling. So it's
But like forward.
What type
Forward.
of a ride is it?
it's kind of like
You're literally on a motorcycle and they lean you forward.
yeah. There's no belt. There's something that just kind of hovers over your back.
Yeah. It's like it like kind of caps on your back, and you, for a second you think like it's some like big strong man behind you,
Yeah.
just like patting you on the back or something.
Oh,
You look
wow.
back and it's actually just like a plastic piece that comes
Yeah.
over the motorcycle.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
Okay.
danger! And then I was
So
like,
you're
safe.
on a motorcycle. I see. So you're on a motorcycle, and then
Motorcycle.
something kind of just holds you down.
Something
Oh,
right,
that's
and you go,
gnarly.
and I didn't know that. Again, I'm always surprised by these things, and I gripped onto the handlebar so hard that my fingers started bleeding from
Oh my
from my rings.
gosh.
Yeah,
Maybe you should just like stay away.
I should just yeah,
I started
There's-
bleeding.
yeah,
yeah. Please.
a lot of
Seizures,
surprises. Yeah,
everything.
yeah. So
And yours.
yeah.
I'm sure you guys never have to worry about this, but they're like when I was younger and I went to Great America, they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, make sure you tie your hair, because if your hair is too long, like mine is, the roller coaster will tangle it up and it'll just rip your scalp off."
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
Wow.
it happened.
That's crazy.
But-
It
Did
happened.
it? Oh,
Your-
well, I don't
I think
know.
your hair's got to be like really long, right?
Yeah, like it's got to be like maybe past your butt, because
Damn.
think about how much it has to.
Yeah.
That I've heard that. Like that's like, is that an urban legend or did that really actually happen?
I don't know if it
Yeah, because
really
I also
happened.
heard you can't keep your hands up too long because you might get an armpit hair stuck in one of the
Oh,
gears, you know, and then you just
no.
might have like
then you know the pain.
just muscles where like your armpits used to be, you know,
Yes.
just bleeding out your armpit holes.
Do you think that would totally make you freak out every time you see a roller coaster?
Yeah.
You're like, ow, my arm. You know?
It's tingly.
It feels tingly today, you know?
Like
Yeah.
so the Six Flags out here, I know that there was a guy. He was like, it was a guy or a girl. They were very overweight, and they were on one of the rides, and they're at the top, and then the lap bar popped off,
Oh.
and then they fell off and they died. So
What?
that happened.
Yeah.
Like, that actually happened. But the guy was I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, I forget, but they were super overweight, and that was the issue there, not because of anything else.
Oh
Right.
my
So,
gosh.
so if you see something like that happen, right, like in real time, do you continue
I would
on
make a
with the
TikTok,
day?
Yeah. What?
Do you
Oh.
just continue to ride more rides? Or do you
No.
just say,
No, right? That's done.
call it a day?
Yeah.
I
call
would,
it a day.
No, that's gotta.
Yeah.
Contact customer service.
That might be like the last time I ever ride a ride. If you
Yeah.
see that happen in real time.
Is
But
it
look-
like super insensitive if you were to, you know how like they have a height requirement, but then what if it's like a width requirement as well? Like,
I think they have that now, though.
Yeah. Really?
They actually
Because of that
I was
situation.
gonna say like
probably
people are super sensitive these days. And like, what did you say? You know,
Yeah.
I could suck it in.
maybe.
Or if you're like too skinny, you know, the other way.
You know the
You might
worst.
slip through the cracks
You know,
or something.
you know what's
Yeah.
worse? If you say, I'll suck it in, and then they still measure it's not enough. It's like off by this much. It's like, oh,
Sorry.
man,
No, but then if
sorry.
you suck it in, you actually fit in. But then like when you're going down, you might like let go.
Yeah,
You know,
and it'll just-
you have to like
And
keep
it'll
it
just-
sucked in. Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing as like don't break the light bulb. You
Yeah,
gotta, like,
that's
keep it
true.
Sucked in the whole time.
No.
Yeah,
But when you're on a thing like that, you're not thinking about your weight. You're just thinking about the thrill and everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
but that kind of thrill could kill. So you gotta go on the treadmill a couple times before you get on the Six Flag ride.
Whoa. Get on the treadmill before you catch a thrill on the
A little.
going.
that's it.
All right. Well,
There's
I
only two.
tried. Oh my
I saw you. I saw the wheels turning.
Just chill. That rhymed as
I
well.
will.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, damn. Okay. I like
Be
that.
still.
Overkill. Oh, we keep going here.
Let's take pills.
Oh God.
Wait, so I want to talk about this real quick. So I was on my way here, and I was driving, and I got cut off. So we all get cut off, right? Especially out here in LA, we see people. But here's the thing, I got cut off, but this person was cutting off everybody. Like
One of
person cut me
those.
off. Yeah, one of those, and then literally cut off the next person without their blinkers. So then I was catching up to this person eventually, and I just had to look. But you ever think about this? Is like, what's the point of really looking at them? Unless you want to send a message, give a finger, whatever. But I'm so curious to like, why, who is this person that is just cutting off everybody? Maybe, it's somebody, that's, I don't know, maybe it's a goofy looking guy, a girl, I don't know. So I pull up and I give it a good glance and I look, and it was these like young girls just laughing. And I think they were just scared. They're freaking out because they realized that they were just cutting off a bunch of people. They didn't realize. So they were just laughing. I think it was just adrenaline, whatever. But then I thought about it. I said, what if you get so angry and you get so emotional, you get road rage, and you just drive up and you look, and it's like the most unexpected person. I don't know who it could be. It could be a celebrity. What if it's like your grandma? Do you get angry? Do you, but I thought about just how those moments when you're so emotionally, just I guess like just pushed or just like triggered and you go out there and you look, and it's just an interesting like way of us reacting to something,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one time I was driving in K-Town, and then I was like on this, like I was about to turn right, but then this bus started to like merge into my lane, right, as I'm about to turn. It didn't see me, and then so like I was getting squeezed out, and I thought I was gonna like get pushed over to the curb or something. But
God.
then so I stopped very abruptly. It passed me by, and then I went around to where the driver is, and then I was like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah," I said something, probably something that
Those
rhymed.
exact words.
Yeah.
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 Just like that.
Will,
So
Phil,
offensive.
chill, still. And then he looked over and he was like, oh, miane. Oh, he was like this like middle-aged Korean man.
Oh man.
And I'm not saying I'm partial towards Korean people. It's just that it reminded me of family.
Yeah.
So I like saw that and I was like,
Inside.
yeah, well, like, you still have to like maintain, like your position.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna be like, oh, did I was gonna be more like, or I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Free.
Like,
You can have this
you're
one.
cool.
Yeah. No, I've had an instance where I honked the crap out of the person in front of me. I usually don't have road rage. It has to be pretty extreme. And I reacted in this case, and this person literally kept going in the direction that I was going. And I was, and then we were going to church, I think. And the car
course it
turned
is.
into the church, and I was right behind him, turning right in. So it was just those moments that I'm like, ooh, like, do I go around the block one time, you know,
Yeah.
or do I just, just let them know, hey, people, crazy today, you know?
Oh my gosh. Just today I was getting my salad and I was waiting for a car to come out of their parking spot. And then the car behind me was like honking at me. I was like, I don't have any place to go. So what is the deal? And she keeps honking. And then I finally pull into the parking lot or like the parking spot. And then I thought this car was going to go elsewhere because then that's awkward. Like, oh, I'm just going to park right next to the person I just honked at for 3 minutes. And then she parks next to me. And then I was like, you know what? This is opportune time for me to be mature. But I wasn't because I had my mask and my sunglasses, so she
Yeah.
wasn't able to see me, and I just glared at her. But it was because I had my mask.
You
and
should
my
have glared
sunglasses.
and then taken your mask off.
Oh my
You showed your
God.
face, you know?
And then flick your tongue.
So why was she honking at you?
Because she thought I was just sitting there in my car when I was clearly waiting for someone to back out.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, people suck at driving and they get really, annoying, and especially in LA.
Yeah.
It's like
People are
that a
always
lot
in a
here.
hurry,
Yeah.
for how chill LA people are supposedly.
Yeah.
They're super in a hurry to chill. I need to go and chill.
Is it like that in Chicago? Like,
No, I think
know.
it's
Chicago's
definitely
better.
pretty. Yeah, I have a theory though. I think it's because I've been in a situation where I had to drive 5 hours round trip to somewhere. Just that's like literally like 30 miles. Just going there, it was like couple hours traffic there, a couple hours back. And I remember thinking like, I just want to get home. I just want to just get through this and go home and.
Yep.
And I think that really creates this tension amongst a lot of the drivers in LA because they just want to get to their destination
Yeah.
without having to deal with the bullshit,
Yeah.
like all this like whatever it is, So I think that's why maybe that's why people are so impatient when it turns green. Literally, the moment it turns green, you'll hear honking.
Yeah.
You will hear the horns. And so I was out in Hawaii. I remember it turned green, and Jen and I, we were like, we literally were talking about something. We're looking down, and like they didn't honk. So I look up, it was green. I look back, it was all the way back. Nobody was honking, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I did this thing, and they literally did the, hey, come on, forget it. So then I just went my way. I'm just like, wow, like this is different. This is something
it's
else.
chill.
So you never know.
Basically, move to Hawaii.
Move to Hawaii, yes, or Texas.
Texas.
Yes, that's where I think Joe Rogan is heading out to.
Yeah.
Oh, so we'll all follow
All those
him.
guys are heading
Yeah,
out there.
a lot of people already
Oh,
know.
like Austin? 'Cause I heard that's the new
no
spot.
idea.
So I've actually thought about doing that, but it's so humid out there.
That's true.
And I can't handle that.
Really humid out here
Yeah.
in your garage.
Yeah,
You're wearing a sweater too.
yeah,
But yeah, it's hot right now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Most
Texas
people
is
would
different.
say that like LA has perfect weather, and I would say for the most part it does. But I think there are spots inland where it's particularly hotter than
The valley.
like the valley.
Valley's
It's so
freaking
much
hot.
hotter. So yeah, I wore a black crew neck long sleeve from Disneyland.
yeah, it's
And-
a Disney jersey.
Yeah, and just
I have
sweating
one.
right through it.
Would you be okay if your boyfriend, when you go to the beach for the first time with him, he wears and he insists on it a Speedo to the beach,
I just
and for all swim occasions,
Like that's
and also
that's
for
his
lounging
only
in the
swimwear.
home?
for lounging in the home.
Yes,
Well, lounging in the home is
you're like, it's time to relax. Like, oh, let me get in my loungewear.
Oh,
You know?
okay. So his only loungewear is a Speedo, not like
Yeah.
boxers or anything. Okay, because boxers, I feel like, or briefs, it's
Boxers
fine.
are for sleep, yo.
Yeah,
for
but like,
chilling.
okay, Speedos, that's got to be uncomfortable because that's like tight.
But not for him.
Yes, if you catch our
He
drift.
loves it.
well,
This is a hypothetical boyfriend, okay? I'm not talking about anybody.
right.
specific.
yes.
Well, I would not like it because it's just so flashy.
Yeah, but what would you do if like you were going with your friends and they're like, I'm so excited to meet your boyfriend. It's like, let's go on this beach trip, and you know what's coming, but he insists on it. Like he's like, I'm about to show them what's really going down in the
Well-
Speedo area.
If we're
And-
gonna get deep here,
Yeah.
I would ask him what his intentions are
An even
and why.
tan. An even tan.
Even tan?
Yeah. In the thigh area. He waxed
God,
that area
well-
right the night before.
I mean, I can totally feel for an even tan.
Yeah.
It's very important because I've been running outside and I have these farmers boy short tans and it looks nasty. And I feel for him for that even tan. So you know what? Yeah, if it's for an even tan, by all means.
Yeah.
But if it were anything else, I would shut that shit away. I'll shut that down.
Going off from that, this is an even deeper question going off of this
All right,
same
here we go.
theme. Okay.
I'm ready.
What is the most awkward situation that you've had from bringing a new significant other into a friend group or family group or like whatever it might be?
Ooh.
That can
You
be for
know, 'cause
everyone.
that's always
That's for everybody, yeah.
Yeah, there's always that barrier you must cross, and sometimes it's not so pretty.
Yeah.
You know.
I'll say one because I think for some of our viewers will know that my brother-in-law is Peniel, and I have a story because this was one of my first times actually going to Jen's parents' house to say hi. And in the Korean culture, it's very important that you say hi. You say it. That first impression I think is important, just like a lot of other cultures, I'm sure. But in this particular day, I remember I was driving over there. I was nervous. I was practicing in front of the mirror while I'm driving, just how I'm gonna say hello in
Not
Korean.
looking at the road.
Yeah, I'm just not even. I don't know where I'm going.
Chicago, so much
yeah,
nicer.
I was
On the road.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine just how crazy this looks because I'm like, talking in Korean this whole time, and it sounds ridiculous. And I get there, and we have dinner, and I remember Peniel was sitting on my right side, and my in-laws were across from me, and then Jen was sitting on my left side, and then we start eating. I'm like, okay, things are okay. I think I can handle this, and then Peniel took a big mouthful of I think it was fried rice, and I just had this really bad feeling about this because he ate a little too much. He put a little too much in his mouth, and I'm kind of looking over at him, and then I saw it. Something got stuck in his throat. He needed to cough, and and then he has to make two choices here because on his right there's his dad, and left there's me. So he goes, and I realize it's actually not a cough, it's a sneeze. And I'm like, this is even worse because it's gonna explode. I'm seeing all this in slow motion. No one else is paying attention to this. And Peniel looks over to his right, and him and his dad made eye contact, and he sneezed right in my face. and in that moment, I had everything just on my face.
You got
and
the peas,
the carrots. And here's the thing. I felt so bad that I kept it on my face. And I didn't,
respect.
out of respect,
So
I didn't want to, ruin dinner, I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. So I just let it there. And then everybody was yelling at him going, Peniel, what are you doing? Like, come on. And I said this, I said, it's okay. No problem. Hey, everyone chill. It's okay. It's while I had carrots and corn on my face. And it was, yeah, later, dessert. It's fine. I'm good.
I don't know.
And I just remember it was like the ultimate test because I think in that moment, how do you respond? How do you react to that? Because I'm being introduced to this, new family, and the first thing that happens is the brother sneezes food in my face, and then, the parents, I look over at my in-laws, they're looking away, and I look over at Jen, and she's just laughing hysterically. And I got no help there. So I had no one to lean on. And in that moment, it was I have to figure this out, I have to survive this very moment in order for me to, get into this family and then, and look into marriage. So...
You got in.
Yeah, I got in. So if anyone wants to break that barrier, get food spit in your face, on your face, and tell everybody it's okay. Let it ride. Just ride it out. That's how you do it.
I respect that.
Respect. Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate it.
That is at most the kindest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
It is kind. I think so too. You know, because I think I could have been like, "What the hell?" You know, I could have been flip the table and be like, "What is going on here?" You know. Can you imagine after I do that? I'm like, "Just kidding," you know. Oh man, this is weird. You know, and yeah, that would have been bad. But Peniel, if you're listening, I remember that.
Never forget.
Forgotten.
I haven't
Yeah.
forgotten. I'm gonna spit on your face. You know,
One of these
the
days,
next
you'll
test.
get it
Even
back.
COVID.
Yeah. When he brings his future girlfriend or wife, I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
poor
there
girl.
on the dinner table. You know, part of the
On her right side.
right side, and I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna have food, and I'm gonna have feather to tickle my nose to see that. Yes, it's gonna be all ready to go. Yes.
Proud of you, man. Me?
have
Oh,
a
I haven't thought of mine yet. You go.
I don't. So the question was an embarrassing thing that.
Doesn't even have to be embarrassing. It's
About-
just, what's like an awkward situation where you had to like bring your significant other into like a friend circle, a family circle, like something that's like your isolated, usual routine in life.
Actually, I do have one, but this one's not as funny as yours. Mine's like serious. So I went home for like Thanksgiving last year or 2 years ago. I forgot. But we were all, my cousins and I, were all very tight. And the girls, there was like 4 of us, and we were just like sitting at the table just snacking.
Yeah.
And
Loudly.
Loudly.
Yeah.
Kind of like, yeah, we were like loud snackers. And I think we were just talking about like why my dad wasn't like drinking beers anymore, because he would just like work several hours a day in the heat, in like the Chicago heat, so it's like very humid, and then he would come home, crack open a beer, just like any really Midwestern working man would, I guess. And he had stopped doing that, and they were like, oh yeah, it's because, I think it was actually Jen, she was the one that literally said, oh yeah, it's because he has high blood pressure. And then I was like, the feeling was like, I didn't know that. I had no idea this had to do anything with health.
Yeah.
And then it's my dad.
Right.
And so it like dawned on me that this was like a big effing deal. And to my left was my significant other. And I think within like 10 seconds, I had started bawling, because I was like, this is my dad. He's sick. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of every possible bad thing that's happening. Like, why does he have high blood pressure?
Because you feel bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And also because I was like, this is how I'm gonna find out? And then
So that's crazy that your cousin told you.
yeah, and that's what was concerning to me, because I was like, okay, is it bad enough where they wouldn't tell me? So then, okay, so anyway, to tie it back to the story of an awkward moment where I was, with amongst my cousins, my very tight cousins, and then my boyfriend was there just witnessing me bawling. And this wasn't even like, my cousins have kids and they were all playing, like in the basement. They were just like so cute. And then here I am, their auntie, being like, I was literally so dramatic, but for the right reasons, I think.
Yeah. That's
So I was, just a hot mess. And then I like locked myself in the bathroom. I'm like, and Aaron's like,
Your dad was in there. He was like, "What are you doing? Get out! I'm using it."
look at the newspaper.
He's in there. Oh man.
And then Aaron was like,
Shout out to Aaron.
yeah. Thank you so much.
You don't wear Speedos, bro. Those are all hypothetical.
That's why I let him wear Speedos. And yeah, that poor guy just had to deal with like my cousins basically being like, well, that's just Eunice. And then him being like,
What just happened?
That's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah. So it wasn't particularly him doing anything. It was
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wailing. So embarrassing.
Wow.
Do you have one?
I don't really have, anything that's like super cringy or anything like that. I mean, there's been times where I've brought like my ex into like my friend circle, and it's just been kind of awkward because they don't know how to behave with each other. It's like they don't know if they need to be super polite to each other, or they don't know if like Sam's shown that side where he's a super like like goofy, perverted, like dude to this girl, or if he's still trying to like be clean cut and impress her or whatever. And I'm just like always, I impress her by being perverted. So it's like,
well, you ever notice like certain people that it could be me too. I don't know, but well, at least in the past. But when they get on their phone with their significant other and their voice tone changes.
Oh yeah.
You notice that, right? So it's like I have like guys that are working out that are big, just big dudes, and then they get a call and they go, hold on, I got a call, and they got a call, hey boo, like what's going on, like so, we know those guys, right? Yeah. So I think definitely that's kind of reminded me of just the tone change. I feel like people definitely talk differently when it comes to who you're talking to, right? Yeah. I mean, I think I notice that when I do. Not now. I mean, now it's just more like I do that with my kids. I think
Yeah.
but not so much people.
Yeah, I'm like FaceTiming with my best friends. And I'm just like, oh my god, that's so funny. And I'm talking in this really, really low voice. Oh wait, I got another call. Hi.
I mean,
What are you doing?
we're still here.
why are you a different person?
Yeah. Yeah, octaves go way high.
Yeah, generally, like, there will always be that moment where my girlfriend will be sitting there, and then my friends will be sitting here, and then I'll say that one joke or say that one comment where it's like a little past R-rated, and then like they'll quickly look at her, and then she'll look at them, and they'll both smile, and they'll be like, ah ha ha, it's funny.
Maybe, but that's maybe your way of testing them. Your filter. Maybe you're seeing if they can handle you, kind of thing.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Like,
Is that what you're doing?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying stuff. I'm like literally spitballing ideas, just like saying whatever, because I think it's funny. And then like, I'm not saying the normal person is gonna think it's funny. It's like some of the stuff I say is disgusting, or it's like doesn't make any sense at all. And afterwards,
I have a
I'm like,
question for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever met someone,
Yeah.
it could be a guy or a girl,
Yeah.
that you riffed with so well
Uh-huh.
that you were like, this is my soulmate? Because to think at your level of like wit is impressive, one might say. And if someone could
I
keep
agree.
up with that, see, if someone could keep up with that,
He's got it.
he knows it so well. And for someone to keep up with that is like, it's like a treasure,
That's kind of interesting because I don't think there's certainly people that I've met that like match me in that, where we banter well and all that, but for some reason that's not necessarily the top criteria for what I think would make a good soulmate, like in terms of like, because okay, don't get me wrong, conversation at the end of the day is like the most important thing, because after your looks fade, after you get older, like what do you have? You have a conversation,
right?
So like that's really important. But apart from that, I don't think I need someone to like try and top my joke, and I'm trying to top their joke, and we're like eventually gonna get pissed and start like fighting each other. Like I don't need that.
I'm
like,
funnier.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. So I think it's better if it's like someone that gets the humor. Because like my humor, I think a lot of my friends have my sense of humor. It's not like some unique thing, but then at the same time, it's like if there's a girl that gets that, and because some people are a little bit like pompous. They're like, ew.
Yeah.
They're
Like too good
"Ew."
for your jokes. or
Yeah, but then
something,
it's really like kind of like trying to not look but doing this, like they're actually laughing. They're like, ew.
Yeah.
And so someone that just really owns it and just accepts that and thinks it's really funny, like that's what I really appreciate. And there's been like, it's a rare occasion, but I do meet people like that in life. And yeah, people that I banter well with, they usually end up being like friends.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So,
important.
Yeah.
Do you and Linnea banter a lot? Or how do you guys communicate?
So, we do have some, like, we have a lot of, I guess with any couple, it's like a lot of inside jokes that just happen, just like obviously shared experiences. So that's a lot of what it is. And like, we have a lot of similar interests that are pretty, not super unique, but then I guess for Linnea, she's super into video games, like kind of like,
I didn't know that.
like, like Animal Crossing and stuff like that. But then like, I'm also into those kinds of video games too. So like we like have those that we enjoy, and also just obviously like God and things like that too that we also enjoy. But yeah, those are
It's one of your inside jokes.
Yeah.
Do you remember God?
But in general, like
Big guy.
like anime we really like and stuff like that, like things that a lot of girls that really that into. Like I'm sure there are plenty of girls out there that are into it, but then the circles that I ran with, there weren't that many, and she was like the only one. So I was like, oh, cool. So that was
Oh,
good.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
So why
cool.
do I imagine you guys met at like a cosplay? Like,
No, I wish though, but no.
takes her mask off. I thought you were a dude. Oh man.
Like, thank goodness. Oh my gosh, I was like falling in love, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gay. No.
Which is totally fine.
Oh yes, it's fine. But no.
But you're married now, so you can't change. I mean, you can, but anyway.
But yeah, I don't know what brought this conversation topic up, but I just wanted to talk about it.
I love it.
No.
Have you gotten
Because relationships are important for sure.
topics?
Here's a question then: what are your? I'm assuming we all had roommates at some point. Who are you? What was the worst roommate that you've ever had?
Putting them literally on blast.
Well,
Do it.
Ooh. Okay, no names then. Just
No names, okay.
No names.
I'm getting my name. I don't even care.
You don't have to.
I wouldn't say he's the worst roommate, but he's the most memorable one, and we've gone through some times together. Shout out to Chris Michaels. He's actually he's gone to the Lord. He has, and that's
Rest in peace.
because
Oh damn.
party too much. But we had a lot of partying in that room, and the reason why it was so memorable for me was because it was a white guy, a black guy, a Mexican guy, and me. Okay, we call
Wow.
ourselves the United Nations, and it was by random
Love it.
picking. We ended up at Thomas Beckham Hall, TBH, over at UIC. I forget if that's the real name or not, but we were staying there, and then I remember we all partied together for the first time, and I believe, one of us never got drunk before. Never, okay?
Wow.
So we got him drunk. We didn't get him drunk. He was just, drinking with us and whatever. And then he had one too many, as the noobs do. And I remember at the time, Carter 3 was out. Carter 3, Lil Wayne, Carter 3. It's the best album he's
Yeah.
ever put out, in
Yes,
my
sir.
opinion. And I was blasting that on my little laptop, okay? So as loud as it can get with a laptop. And then we were just, listening to it.
No bass.
Yeah, and then it was so funny because I believe the song we were listening to was Pussy Monster. And it's just literally all about like what he would do to that.
Wow.
That's what he would do to it, That's in different rhymes and different metaphors.
Like chill,
And it was,
kill.
I mean, there's no doubt. It was like masterfully clever, witty. Lil Wayne, he's so
Did you
good with
see that?
punchlines.
I missed my mouth.
I've been missing my
Your
mouth
mouth
for
is
the
watering
last
so much. But
Wow.
So he's drunk at this point. So I use the bathroom and I come out and he's in my bedroom. Why? Because he hears the music, right? He hears Lil Wayne. He's like, what is he talking about? What is this? And then he goes in there. He's sitting on my bed and he's hunched over, right? Like, yo, you alright, man? And he like looks up at me and he's like, Lil Wayne is the best. I was like, what? He's like, Lil Wayne is the best ever. He's the best ever. And then it was like a father-son moment. I sat right next to him on my bed and I put my arm around him and I'm like, yes, he is, man.
Oh my god.
He really is. And then we listened to the rest of the song just like that.
Oh dang.
And I was
You
just
guys
like,
cried and stuff.
Cute.
I don't know. He was still hunched over, but I was like looking at him. Like that, yeah.
Let me
cute, though.
let me share the story because I'm gonna tell you one where I couldn't do this, right? Because we caught our roommate masturbating. So
Oh, that's memorable.
it was very awkward because we opened the door and this guy. Let me tell you something about this guy. He's not a cool guy. Like what I mean by that is he's the one that would literally put a sticker on every single thing that it's his.
Oh,
Would not share.
So no chill.
No chill. I mean, he would cook, and we would literally just mess with him by saying, "Wow, smells so good. I wish I couldn't just take
Oh my-
get a taste." And he would just ignore us completely. We thought it was funny, but we would just constantly just poke at it because he was just not about sharing,
Wow.
about anything, and no unity whatsoever. So now we had this great opportunity to get him back because we walked in with his pants down to his ankles, watching some, special movie, It was, and we said, hey, whoa, what are you doing, man? And he would not, he just froze. But he was very quick with his hands. He just, bam, 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 and his screen just changed, Very good. But his pants were still down.
That'd be hilarious if he went, bam, 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 his pants like came off.
He had a straight.
Yeah, it just went back up. And we're like, oh my, But yeah, that was a moment where we just thought it was like we can't let this go. We have to bring this up. We have to let him know.
Awkward.
Like, hey, what movie were you watching? I'm just looking for a new movie. Is there a good one? Hey, what were you doing with your sweatpants there? Yeah, is that a new exercise? So we just kept this going.
Did he say what movie he was watching?
No.
Braveheart.
Freedom. Princess Diary.
No, yeah, he was. I was studying. But yeah.
Oh my god.
But moments like that,
Anatomy.
I think, is just something that's so funny because you obviously have to deal with. You can't escape it. You see that person again the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so awkward. Wait, so what did he say?
He basically didn't say anything. But we
Because he
felt-
doesn't like sharing his food or
Oh,
anything else.
he's
He's
like,
like, I'm not going to tell you what
Yo, give me the
movie it is."
password. No,
Yeah, it's like-
probably no password.
How did you put your pants up so fast? Like, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah. But needless to say, yeah, he moved out after that semester for sure. He was like, But before him was the guy, the gang guy, the gangbanger. So yeah. So I don't know which one's better. You get your money taken away,
right. Or witnessing.
But then you don't know if that guy took the money.
That's true. I can't keep thinking that way.
It's
You're
possible.
right.
It's
That's
very possible. Maybe it's
Yeah.
99% possible, but you're not 100%
That's true.
Yeah.
sure.
I have to tell you a story about him because this was so funny because he actually told me this. He said, "Hey, I got a girl coming up right now. You have to check her out, okay?" And I'm like, "Wasn't your girlfriend just here?" He's like, "Yeah, but yeah, she left. But I got this girl coming up. Oh man,
Oh my gosh.
oh man, she thick. Oh man, and guess what? She was thick. She was big.
She was
3 Cs.
obese.
Oh wow.
She had a little too many of these.
Oh.
Obese. We're going off on that thing again. Yeah. Had too much cheese. But anyways, yeah, she came up and I was just very respect to big girls out there. Love for the big girls too. I mean, I got love for everybody. But I'm just saying it was something that caught me off guard because he had his girlfriend, and then when she left, he brought this other chick in, and he literally asked me, like, behind her, he was looking at me, he's like, what do you think? What do you think?
Wow.
And I just kind of gave him this look, like, half confused, half like, where's my sidekick? You know what I mean? I'm still thinking about sidekick. You brought your side chick. I'm talking about sidekick, But anyway, so that was like a moment where, I just don't remember because the roommate situation, yeah, I had a
And then the next
handful.
roommate like to slide dick.
Real quick.
Shoot. I pulled a muscle.
We're not even on a roller coaster, man. Chill.
Shoot. I pulled a muscle just like the roller coaster.
Oh my gosh.
Holy cow.
I think sorry, go ahead.
I want some of those turtle chips.
But yeah,
Guys, we're
anyway,
going
shout out
down.
to Chris Michaels. I love you, man. Wherever you are.
Yeah.
We had a lot of heart-to-hearts.
Yeah.
Because he always, for some reason, even in the winter in December, he always kept the window open in the living room, and it would just be like blizzard wind coming in.
Why did he do that?
Because he was just wild. He was a wild guy. And then I'd like come out and I'm like shivering in the middle of the night. I'm like, yo, what's up? And then he'll be like drinking whatever by himself in the living room. And I'd sit down and be like, it's always like a father-son situation. I was like, hey, do you agree Lil Wayne's the best? And then he's just like, what? And then we just start talking about his life and whatever. And I just console him. And then he'd completely forget about it the next day, But those times were very memorable. He was both the worst and probably the most profound roommate I've ever had. So
Wow, that's an honor to be called profound.
he
For sure.
taught me a lot of things about how people just are. Like college is the place where you go and you realize people don't come from the same upbringing.
Yep.
Like if you haven't realized it up to that point, like college will for sure show that to you. So Chris was definitely that wake up call for me. I'm like, dang, like people come from different places in life, you know. And then one time, yeah, there was a couple fights that we had to break up in the room, you know, because like it was almost World War III, and
Right.
you know,
United Nations
Yeah.
sometimes turn
yeah,
on
we
each
needed
other.
to unite. We needed to reunite. But yeah, that was good times. And then I remember I broke the guys apart, and then the roommate that you are, you know, prejudiced toward, he was like, I remember he came to me, and this is the biggest encouragement I've ever received in college. He came to me and he was like, Sam, you are the peacemaker.
The peacemaker.
Yeah, he called me the peacemaker, and I was
That's
like, you know
awesome.
what? You know how like people like they refer to themselves like in the olden days when they come and then they announce your presence, then they say all your nicknames. You know, like
Titles.
Daenerys,
Yeah, yeah.
like Targaryen, the Breaker of Chains. Wow,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Samuel, the peacemaker.
Wow.
Lee, I have that under my belt. I just need a couple more, and then it'll be like olden times. you
Oh
know?
my gosh.
Let's talk about nicknames.
Okay.
What's
So,
the
Peacemaker?
strangest nickname you guys heard?
Peacemaker.
That you
That's my
get someone, yeah, someone. Peacemaker. That is one of the strangest things, yeah, to be called
If
that.
I become a UFC fighter, it's like Sam Peacemaker.
Sam, the
like-
peacemaker.
Can't we work this out?
It'd be funnier if he had more. It'd be funnier if he had more losses than wins, because you're the peacemaker.
Yeah.
You
It's like that's a win for me, man.
At Unibrow.
Like for you?
Unibrew.
Yeah, so
like
it's just
Lube.
yeah, it's, that someone came up with for you, right?
Like I had one, I guess it was kind of racist. Like this guy in high school I know would always call me Mr. Like he'd go Mr. Choi, and he would always bow. So it was like a white guy.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, is he an Asian immigrant?
He was a white
So you
guy.
have master.
So like I guess that one was the weirdest one.
Did you like go with it, or were you like?
Yeah, I was fine with it because we
Yeah.
were pretty cool, but it was pretty racist.
Yeah.
And I think back on it now, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty racist. But I was
Yeah.
like, whatever. At the time, I didn't really care.
The thing about like back then when people were racist, it's not the same as today. Like back then, it was actual like ignorance, and I'm not talking about like overall racism, like racism against Asians. Like they literally just didn't know. Like there's like literally kids that are trying to be friendly to you, and they come up to you like, "Oh, Chinese," or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
It's not like they're trying to pick a fight. They're just trying to like be like, "Hey, we're chill, right?"
Right.
You know. And
Like
Yeah, but
joking
you're right.
is the easiest
Ignorant,
way.
for sure. Is the
yeah,
best way.
because they wouldn't be offended if you go up to them and say, "Oh, round eyes," you know, like they would be like,
Yeah.
"Yes, I do." Have that.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
like-
people didn't even know sushi back then. You know, like
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it was just very.
Okay, so I have a
foreign.
story about ignorance. So like I was in college in Arizona, and I was in it's like a business class or something, and then we were in a group, and then this guy, he was like, "Oh, what kind of Chinese are you?" And I was like, "I'm not Chinese, I'm Korean." He's like, "Oh, so you're Chinese Korean?" I was like, "They're two different countries, man." And he's like, "What?" Like he was like really
What? I'm
confused.
Chinese
Yeah.
German.
But he was like super like confused that he thought all Asians were Chinese, but
Yeah.
a different type of Chinese. And I was like,
You were Chinese confused.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just like, wow, okay, that was.
Yeah.
I was like, you're in college, like
Yeah.
you don't know this. I was like, but I
Yeah,
just-
because back in middle school, I would get those comments like, "Oh, like what part of Korea are you from, North or South?" And like, I guess that's somewhat of a fair question because if you don't know the history, it's like whatever. But then there's this one time where someone was like, "Are you Chinese or Japanese?" I was like, "Oh, no, I'm Korean." They're like, "No. You're definitely Chinese." I was like, "No,
You don't have an option.
oh." Oh,
Go
no,
ask
I'm
your
not.
parents. Go check one more time.
Let me circle back.
Yeah, I definitely got the. I think everyone's gotten the. Are you North or South Korean?
Yeah.
Before,
Oh,
you know?
yes.
You got to confuse him. He's like, I am South, but I am communist.
Yeah.
Because like, but the thing is, okay, so on my mom's side, I am North Korean though, because they came from the north. So technically,
But like, what is that? It's literally they just drew a line and separated people. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
so I was like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it is a dumb question, but at the same time, I don't know like how you answer that.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Well, the perception is skewed because at a certain point they have to draw a line and separate families from each other just because of a geographical line, and because of that, like they just assume North Koreans are bad. It's like no, North Koreans are put in unfortunate circumstances.
Yeah.
You know, like
Their leader is bad.
Right.
Like the people of North Korea are just stuck. They're
Yeah.
Yeah, they're victims.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so that was tough back in the day, but back to nicknames.
Back to
Nicknames.
stuck. Yeah. Racist. Well, I got that one racist nickname. Everything else has been pretty normal.
Yeah.
Like
How about you?
Beachoy.
I had unibrow, uniboob, unicycle,
Uniboob.
unicorn.
That's probably the least offensive one out of the ones.
It was the most offensive. Just kidding.
They actually,
They didn't call you the Unabomber?
yeah.
That wasn't offensive?
Well, actually, it wasn't a nickname, but another like racist situation was when there was like another girl, Korean girl, at my school, and we were like 2 of 2 Korean girls, and one teacher had called me Esther, and that was the other girl's
So
name.
racist.
I
Yeah.
was like, damn.
It is
Damn, teacher.
It is an E name, to be fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you correct the teacher?
Oh, well, yeah. I had to be like, oh, no.
You did what I did. Left the vegetables on your face there from the fried rice. I have to tell you guys this story about how creative kids are, because I remember in 7th, 8th grade, the guys, I remember we had this floppy disk. You guys know the floppy disk. And how much memory does a floppy disk have?
Like 3.5 megabytes or something.
Megabytes. That's like barely a song, right? And the guys would download and put porn on these floppy
like
disks.
2 seconds of it.
Well, it would be like a picture, barely like a picture.
You are so
Whoa.
spoiled.
Yeah. What grade school did you go?
Pictures?
Moving pictures. We barely had
What
pictures.
are we, Harry Potter?
Shit, she goes like holographic. Oh my gosh, this is so advanced. No, but kids would sell floppy disk in the hallway.
Wow.
Like, hey, got the money?
Yeah.
Got the disc? And we'll do these
Oh my
swap.
gosh.
We had a guy that did VHS.
VHS. Whoa, that's pretty big.
He was-
Wow. How
like,
did he
that was-
carry that in his
How
like,
much for a
backpack?
VHS?
Well, like, because he had a car, so he just put him in his trunk. I never bought one, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But
Wait,
Okay.
how old were you?
this is high school.
Oh,
Oh, high school. Okay,
Oh.
so
High school.
when we were in middle school, though, I think it was a
Sorry,
little
yeah.
advanced from there. But floppy disk, and then what happened was the kids would also fill up their folders with printed pornos, right? They'll print it and then they'll I think it was like $1.50 or whatever, right? So I still remember this guy, Juan.
Entrepreneurs.
Juan. I'm not gonna say his last name, Ochoa, actually. He brought a folder with him, and he sat in the middle of the class, and we were all sitting there. We were supposed to take an exam, right? So we were all sitting there. No, the teacher actually walked around collecting homework. That's what it was. So she started going down each row, collecting the homework. And then Juan, I think he was trying to like pretend he had homework, so he was like looking through his folder.
Oh,
well,
God.
he dropped his folder. He knocked it down. Everything. Boom. All these expensive porno.
Oh my God.
50 cents, $1, whatever. Everything was just scattered all over the floor, classroom. All the guys are looking at like, oh my gosh.
Free looks.
Free looks. So, I mean, mind you, this is before whatever porn sites that are out there, right? This
It's like pre-internet.
pre-internet.
This is like that scene from Superbad where he like
Yeah.
draws all those
Yeah.
dick pictures
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
yeah.
I mean, this is
I
like.
used to do that. too,
Wow.
Actually, I got a good story about that. But let's go.
But I mean, you can imagine just how valuable these things are for guys, at least, or it could be good for girls too. But for guys, like we're looking at this, we're like, wow, like
Middle school guys.
this guy's hustling.
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Anyways, yeah, people hustle.
Did
Even-
they all get
Hustler.
confiscated by the teacher?
So the teacher, I forget her name, but I remember she picked one up, just
Oh
looked at
God.
it, and said, "I want to see you right now. Let's go back."
Yeah.
But now, as an adult, like, what do you think? You would, what would go through your mind if you saw someone in class?
I mean, okay, so I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
What you're supposed to do is you immediately confiscate it all, call the principal.
But it's like a
Right.
really good picture. it's like
So you have to contact parents. And
Yeah.
then
Oh,
there's like
God.
that becomes a whole thing of
Wow.
like,
But you don't determine the punishment, right? You're just the one that kind of.
no, the principal should be the one that determines the
For a
punishment.
kid, can you imagine what kind of nightmare that is?
Wow.
Like your
Oh,
wildest
man.
nightmares
Yeah.
coming true.
Because like, obviously everyone's home situation is different, but then like, If it was like a kid that like is doing this behind their parents' back,
No.
I mean, you're effed. You know,
Yeah.
you're completely screwed.
Well, here's the thing. In 7th grade, girls don't know what guys are doing.
Yeah.
So at that moment, all the girls know you're a pervert.
Yeah.
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 So now, you know.
That guy's branded for the rest of that
Exactly.
Brand.
school.
Yeah.
But the story I was gonna talk about when you mentioned super bad, and you're like, oh, when that kid was drawing dick pics, and I was like, yeah, I've done that, you know. Let me give you a little bit more context so you don't think I'm just a freak. I'm a real freaky freak, and that is,
Double freak.
yeah, I'm a double freak. One time in 8th grade, you know how like in 8th grade in high school, like, you know, there's popular kids, there's jocks, there's nerds, there's band geeks, there's whatever. I was kind of in like the middle because I was in a punk rock band. So like it's cool to like people in bands. So the jocks will like you. They'll go to your shows at random parents' basements, you know, and like whatever. Same with the popular kids. So I kind of had this like pseudo friendship with like the Abercrombie wearing kids. And one of the kids' name was Mike. And I remember for some reason, I just really wanted to convince him that he's gay. He's not, but I wanted to convince him because it's like a fun challenge, you know. It's actually, you know, like how do you convince somebody that just knows that they're a certain orientation that they're something else?
So like the Tiger
Wow.
King.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
You're like the Tiger King.
Exactly. I'm like, you're not that straight,
Yeah.
you know. So like I would draw pictures of cartoons of just like it looks like a big schlong, but then it actually turns into like an elephant. You know, it's like an elephant's nose. It's like kind of like, oh,
subliminal.
is it X-rated? Oh no, it's not. It's an elephant. You know, but then it's like scary, obviously, and all this, and it's just like you know, spouting water and all that.
Water.
Yeah.
Yeah, water. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then, you know, there'll just be like some guy and he's like mid shower, but then he like pops the soap out of his hand, like, and it's like, you know, flying in the air. And then there's a guy behind him just like really happy about that, you know, like just all this stuff. And then like at the end of all that,
Wild
I would write by Mike his last name, you know?
Oh my god.
And I would like sign it
So
like it's a
messed
signature.
up.
And then I would fold it up and then I'd sneak it into his locker. And then so what would happen is like after school, we'd all go to our lockers and I'd like, you know, hover by his locker to see what's going on. And then like he opened his locker and it would fall out, right? And then like his friend's like right next to him. I'm like, Mike, what is this? And then his friend's like, what is it, dude? I'm like, no, dude, what is this? Pick it up. And then he would open it and it's just all these crazy perverted
Wow.
pictures and it says by Mike, whatever, you know? And then his friends started to like think that's hilarious and they'd be like, dude, I didn't know, like what? Like blah, blah, blah. And then everyone started kind of, you know, like railing on him about his sexual orientation.
That's so
Wow.
mean.
No, it's awesome because he got me back because what he did is he went to the assistant principal and told on me.
Oh.
And he showed him all the pictures. And it was the best because like I got called into the office and then this guy, he's like this huge burly dude. And he's like, Mr. Lee, please sit over here. And I sat down and he's like, what is this? And he showed me these pictures. I was like, whoa. I was like, these look pretty good. Wait a minute, they're mine. And what's funny is they were all photocopied. It wasn't even like the original. So he's like keeping the original somewhere for himself. Like I don't know what he's
Ew.
doing, you know?
That's another story.
I go to his house, it's like in a frame or something.
Oh god.
But he shows me the copy. He's like, you are going to get a Saturday detention and you are going to show your mother and father these photos. You are going to show it to them and you're going to have them sign it.
Oh.
So the first thing that I'm thinking about, you know, Asian parents are going to look at this like, whoa, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just going to forge the signature. But I have too much honor because I'm Asian. So I was like, no. I must sign it. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to petition one last time. So after class, I was like anxious about it the whole day. I go to the principal's office, the assistant principal's office. I'm like, you know, I've never been in trouble before this. I've always been a good guy. And so why don't you let me just take the Saturday detention? But you don't need to let my parents see it.
Wow. Did that
And then,
work?
and then he like looked at me. He was like,
Can you draw me more pictures?
Only if
you got a deal. No,
Crayons.
but he actually agreed.
Oh,
he agreed.
wow.
Yeah. So to this day, my parents never saw my masterful elephant pictures.
Oh my gosh.
But it was. I have no regrets. You know, it was put to really good use. It was hilarious. You know, like if I saw some 8th grader doing that, like today, I would just be like, this guy.
Oh, eighth
Genius.
grade.
8th
Oh,
grade.
you were young.
That's like
Genius.
borderline
That's
high school. Like you.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
that's young.
Borderline.
And you're trying to convince your friend that he's gay.
Yeah.
in 8th grade.
You might have helped him. Who knows?
I was definitely ahead of my time for sure.
I think
you know?
so. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that was a
Wow, I
good time.
can't
So that was
believe-
my super bad moment, except for it wasn't like I was drawing it and keeping it for myself,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the character in that movie. And I was trying to like progress people in knowing themselves.
Better.
Yeah. So that was that.
Yeah.
The
High school
end.
was weird. High school was weird for me.
Oh, why?
I don't know. It was like I don't really know where I fit in with anything. It wasn't like I was hated or anything, and nobody like really was mean to me or anything like that. But then I just didn't really like I wasn't really good friends with anybody at high school. Like I was good friends with like my church friends, but not my high school friends at all. Like there was maybe like a couple. There's one that I grew up with since like preschool, who I consider like a cousin or like a not like a sister almost because I've known her forever. But other than her and maybe like one other person, like I don't know, I didn't really like get to know my high school friends that well.
Yeah. So you just like went to school, clocked in, clocked out, like
Yeah.
nothing else. Really.
Like I had a girlfriend at my senior year, and that was cool. I mean, she's a cool person.
Yeah.
And like, but that was like probably the most memorable thing. And like, I don't really remember much. Yeah.
Our high school was like straight up like Mean Girls. Like we had cliques, like for sure.
Yeah, we had that too, like for sure. But then like,
Oh.
Yeah.
and I kind of knew all the cliques though, and I didn't really fit in. Like, I was cool with all of them.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in any of them.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So it was like weird. It was like a really
Is it
weird.
offensive to say that you were a wallflower?
Maybe.
Oh.
Oh, not offensive. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Why are you so offensive today? Everything you say.
I meant to say it's cool
like-
to say that.
It's like, as you said it, it's like, is it offensive? Fuck you.
It's like you are an asshole.
Let's
no,
move on.
no, it's not
funny
offensive.
again.
It's very probably apt to say that I was like that. I guess.
Okay.
Because like because there
Perks
were
of
like
being
the
a wallflower.
Asians, there was the Koreans, and those were probably the people I was closest with. But then they were into way different stuff than I was into.
Yeah.
North or
Like,
south?
Just like yeah, like they were like kind of like wannabe gangsters at the time, and like I'm so not like that.
Yeah.
Like I was more white than I was Korean.
Yeah, yeah,
So like,
yeah.
but then I wasn't white, so I didn't really hang out with the white people. So like, everything was a little bit weird.
I know what that feels like. That's why
Yeah.
you end up like doing crazy stuff, like try to convince like straight dudes that they're gay and stuff. You know.
Take
I
it out
mean,
on someone
I
else.
was like, maybe this is my
This is
you
my
know,
thing.
maybe this is my calling.
Like I gotta
you know?
do this. Like everyone that I
so
meet,
persuasive.
gotta convince them to. Do it.
Yeah.
I saw this quote and it totally ties back to what you were saying about having like a greater purpose in mind.
Yeah, I wrote the quote.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay. I haven't even said it yet, but okay. Oh, interesting. It says Erica Williams Simon, but I don't know. Who is she? I don't.
J.K. Rowling, like, whatever.
It's a pseudonym.
Okay. So the quote is, the best career advice that I can give is don't ever attach yourself to a person, a place, a company, an organization, or a project. Attach yourself to a mission, a calling, a purpose only. That's how you keep your power and your peace. This quote is by Samuel Lee. Do you remember
good.
like coming up with that? And
There's so many things I come up with every single day, so I write it down and then I just like toss it.
Oh, look at that. It's
Someone
such a
picked it up and
Yeah.
used it. Whoever that person was, and good at picking up trash. Yeah.
That quote was trash.
Yeah.
Well, to me it was, but hopefully
her,
it's
it's a
useful.
treasure,
for some-
yeah.
yeah.
Erica Williams, is that what you said?
Erica Williams Simon.
Yeah, but all kidding aside, yeah, that's just so true. Like when people are sad, when people are in quarantine, they don't get sunlight, they're with people that they get irritated with for a long
Yeah.
period of time. It's like you start focusing on those things. You start focusing on the things that are right in front of you, all around you, and you can't be distracted from it. Well, try to be distracted from it. You know, it's like being distracted from something eventually leads you to habitually thinking about that distraction until it's the bad thing becomes the distraction. And you actually need to focus on this other thing now that's new and better and, you know, makes you feel more optimistic.
Yeah.
So, you know, don't think of distraction as a bad thing all the time.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, I think on that note, I think that's a good place for our first episode, closing our first episode.
Man.
For loud snackers. So,
We did some work on these snacks
yeah.
too.
Maybe we could all just crunch one snack for the fans.
This
Oh,
turtle
yeah.
chip, oh my gosh, I can't.
We'll put the snacks in the link below
Yeah. Yeah.
so you guys can enjoy.
Seriously.
I love it. I love the quotes. I love everything. This is the perfect way to end it here. So, we'll do it.
Ready?
And then,
1,
2,
3.
1.
all right,
And
thank you.
scene.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.